well, I hope my camera microphone is working. Let's see. Now it is about 7:30 in the morning. My bike is luckily nicely parked still in the parking house. I have some serious separation anxiety when it comes to my bike. Now I am heading out to Husqvarna's headquarters. The plan for today is to we're going to ride part of the route together with the tour guides for the weekend. The Northern Tour doesn't start until tomorrow and Sunday, but today I was offered to kind of check out the route together with the tour guides, so that's what we're doing today. Nope, not yet. That could have been a disaster. I didn't fasten this one. Alright, here we are. Cool, now let's see what's going on.
After saying hello to all 6 of the tour guides, having a coffee and catching up, it was time to get the bikes out and hit the road for what they claimed would be a chill day riding. Well, we'll see about that part.
Let's see then. I have to admit I am flippin' nervous about this. I can't ride it faster than I can anyway, so it is what it is.
Riding with a new group of people, or in my case, just riding with a group in general, comes with a bit of anxious feelings. What is the pace going to be like? How difficult will the tracks be? And always that annoying feeling being worried that you can't keep up and will hold the group back. Can anyone relate? I mostly ride alone, and my natural riding pace is, well, let's be honest, I'm quite slow. Luckily, all the tour guides in this group were very patient and more than happy to give me helpful pieces of advice throughout the day.
I think the road is like freshly gravel or something. It's like riding on freaking marbles. And I don't know what to do when I get into corners with this kind of surface. I'm like slipping and sliding, and the amount of control is not very big. What the crap? This could be potentially very slippery. At least it's not raining.
Yet. Girl, you just jinxed it.
Mud and downhill. It's bloody interesting. This stuff is so much more fun than just going fast on gravel roads, in my opinion. A little bit like technical stuff, so much more fun, in my opinion.
Well, you better be careful what you wish for. The next section was probably the hardest technical riding I'd ever done. So far.
Holy Whoop. Feet up. Holy what is this? Okay, we'll choose the left side here.
And down we go. For the first, but definitely not the last time this weekend. Luckily, the forest floor with all its bushes and vegetation offers soft landings.
Va? Jag prövar.
With a little bit of help, which is always advisable if there are more hands available, we got the bike back up and ready to go again. Falling over like this usually bruises your confidence more than your body, and eventually not even that. Somehow you get used to it being a part of the learning process.
Okay, look where you're going. Okay.
Och så håll i, igen gas bara, håll i, paddla med fötterna.
With instructions and encouragement, you'll get through most obstacles, so you can't really complain when they hit you with their "you're welcome" gesture. And sometimes you might as well give yourself the instructions and encouragement you need.
Gas, 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 gas. Gas, 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 gas. I guess that's it.
Oh, we were so far from being done, but at least it was almost time for lunch. By this time, my legs already felt like overcooked spaghetti. That's what a combination of being out of shape and having a poor riding position would do to you within just a couple hours. As we went on this Friday, I couldn't make up my mind whether I was happy or worried about knowing what kind of tracks we would be riding the next days during the actual event. Remember, this was supposed to be a chill day riding.
Stuff this bike is capable of. And honestly, what I'm capable of. Holy shit. Whoop! Whoop! This is nuts. In a good way. Ooh. Okay, over that rock. My legs are on fire. In Norwegian we have a song that's perfect for this. It goes Humpetitten, humpetatten, humpetitten, teia. Just means that it's humpy bumpy roads. We're doing this again tomorrow. Lucky me.
Now, I'll let you enjoy a few more clips of me struggling and swearing my way through the Swedish forest like the graceful lady I am.
What is this?
Before we wrap up this day and move on to the actual event.
Fuck my hands. Woo! Okay. Det är okej. Men det är slowly but surely. Stackars.
We eventually wrapped up the day with a coffee break at Siggstorp, the campground we would be staying at that weekend together with everyone else, before heading back to the headquarters in Örebro. With tanks filled up and both bikes and people cleaned up, we were getting ready for the weekend to start. By the way, do y'all finally think my bike is sturdy enough? Alright guys, let's try to make some sort of conclusion about the day today. It's right now about 9 o'clock in the evening. I am at my hotel. I had dinner, I've showered and I've relaxed, and right now I'm quite ready for bed. I am quite beaten up and drained from today. Holy schmuck. Like, I don't even know where to start. It's been awesome. It's been fun. It's been cool. It's been challenging as heck. The things I've done on the bike today, I didn't know I was capable of it. I didn't know the bike was capable of it, or I guess I knew like the bike was capable. I've seen how other like professional bikers just throw them around like they weigh nothing, and yeah, but for some it might look like, you know, that wasn't very much at all, but for me that was, I never done so challenging riding ever before. If you're new to this channel, I got my license 3 years ago. I started doing some gravel riding last year, just on my own pretty much. Never had any like training or courses or anything like that. I've just kind of learned on my own and gotten advices from people along the way. And that's been very confusing because the advices I get are so different. They vary so much, and sometimes like they're just directly like the opposite of each other. Like for example, I've been told for the longest time by so many people that when you're going into a corner on gravel, you should put the weight on the outer foot peg, just to kind of help the bike stay straighten up a little bit. And then other times, like today, I've been told, no, you should keep the weight on the inside of the peg because you want to help the bike going into the corner, and then use your body weight on the outside instead. And it's just so, well, it's very confusing. It's just like crickets in my head at the moment. Like I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I'm so tired. This is day 1. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm excited to see tomorrow. I'm excited to see the tempo, the speed of the groups tomorrow, to see is it going to be just as fast as today, because today was quite like, they're like, oh, we're going to do a chill ride today, and I'm not doubting that for them this was a pretty chill ride, but for me I was like constantly riding like on top, like at the top of my like skill level, like both on the gravel and on the dirt and the forest roads and everything. I was just like constantly pushing myself. So yeah, it's just physically and mentally quite exhausting. But yeah, my learning curve is like phew, skyrocketing this way. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think there's about 20 riders, I think, coming tomorrow all together. Some for the skill group and some for the expert group. Other than that, I noticed that my camera angle today was not the greatest. I had a lot of rain on my my lens, and also there was a lot of static noise in my microphone. I don't know if my microphone is going bad or if it's the wires that's going bad. I don't know, but there was just like a lot of noise, I think. Okay, also I'm curious to see if there's other girls coming tomorrow. I had no idea. That would be cool if there were more girls. But if not, then that's cool too. So yeah, that's it for today. Excited to see what tomorrow will bring. Stay tuned. See you soon.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Northern Tour. I'm currently in Örebro. I am in 500 meters at Husqvarna Motorcycle Scandinavia's headquarters. Ready to begin this weekend of adventure riding and fun. I spent the whole day yesterday test riding today's route together with the tour guides. And wow, that's some boots they got. going on. I'm so freaking sore today in pretty much my whole body, but yeah, in a good way. Vadå? Bra.
Ja, bra. Parkera upp bredvid honom där.
Ja.
Så får vi alla som är liksom deltagare, fast jag vet vad det är.
What? Like I was saying, I think I'm gonna try having my helmet camera on ultra wide today, just to catch a little bit more. I haven't really tried that angle before with my helmet camera, but I think it's gonna be fine. And also I concluded that because my camera angle were so poor, I'm going to invest in a Insta360. Yep. Alright, let's get this day started.
The headquarters was all ready to welcome the riders, and slowly but surely they started to arrive one by one. You could literally feel the excitement and anticipation in the air. This is also the first time I've seen so many Nordens in one place at the same time. Isn't it a beautiful sight? All guides and personnel was introduced to the group, and there was also made some changes in the group structure. When signing up, you could originally choose between 2 different skill levels, skilled or expert. They decided to add one more in between, the skilled pro group. Somehow I find myself being placed here, but I guess that's a compliment. Altogether, 23 riders showed up for the event. There had been a few last-minute cancellations, mostly due to the weather forecast for the weekend, which was not great, but that turned out to be one of the last things on anyone's mind during the day.
It's been quite a bit of rain since yesterday, so it's going to be interesting to see if the tracks are a lot more wet and muddy today than they were yesterday. I have to say though, it's quite a bit of difference. I can feel like quite a bit of difference in my riding from yesterday morning until now. Holy smokes. It just takes so little to gain a little bit more confidence on these tracks. About to start the little bit first tricky part where I fell over for the first time yesterday. Gas. You're probably not seeing a whole lot at the moment, but whoop. Whew. Oh, that's where I fell yesterday. Let's not fall there today. Nope. Oh, holy. Gas. That's tricky when you get stuck in the part that you're supposed to have quite a bit of sleep to get through. Come on. Gas. gas. No problem. Woo! Ah! Okay. We're good. We're good. That was a stop.
It turned out one of the riders had come to a sudden stop in the mud and hitting their throat on the handlebar along the way, giving him difficulties breathing for a little while. Luckily, he quickly recovered and we could start the process of pulling our bikes out of the knee-deep mud holes.
Går det bra?
Ja, helt nydelig.
Every now and then a little push was required to get out of the mud.
Hey! I pushed it.
And I quickly learned that when you're pushing someone out of the mud, perhaps don't position yourself right behind their spinning back wheel. Husqvarna had arranged several stops throughout both days where all the groups gathered up for some much needed nutrition and rest. Despite the weather, everyone seemed like they were enjoying themselves a ton. I guess you never really grow out of enjoying playing in the mud. Our toys just get bigger and more expensive as we grow up.
Hæ? Ja, jeg tror ikke jeg fikk bilde av meg en gang. Hæ? Nei, jeg skulle dytte han, tenkte jeg.
Talking about ruining my flow, I did that perfectly myself when... Yeah. I guess I was too stunned to even swear, and in my confusion, turning off the camera, thinking I turned it on. Oh well, it was all good, and I'll walk you through the damages on the bike at the end of the day.
Getting ready for the last session of today. We have about an hour and a half left.
That leaves us with plenty of time to fall a bit more. Yeah, I actually did that twice in a row on the same spots. If you can't really reach the ground, be careful where you put your foot down.
Quite technical track that we did at the end yesterday.
I guess they saved all the best parts for the end of the day. But you know what they say? Where all visible tracks or trails end, that's where the fun begins. Or do they? I don't know. I just made that up.
Go. Ice ahead of you. I'm definitely more tired than yesterday. This side. Can I get up here? Up and continue. Let's go. Oh, I need speed. Okay. Nope. I am stuck. Maybe if I go behind. Yes. Woo! Okay. This is probably the wrong side of the rock. No, I'm fine, I think. Are my bag stuck? No. Ah! Alright. Woof! Wah! Wah! No! Ah! Ah! No! Alright. Ah! I need to stop and wait for help to get that up. Ah!
After huffing and puffing, falling, lifting, pushing and pulling our way out of the forest, we eventually made our way to Sixtorp, where we would be spending the night. Some planned on putting up their tents and some were staying in a sleeping hall. And some spoiled riders like myself got their own room. We were greeted in the best way with a welcome bag with some goodies, snacks, information about the event of the evening, and the optional beer. Pretty nice.
Nu är tanken så här att ni ska få komma in till era boenden. Vi har sovsalen i det stora huset här. Och sen så för er som ska bo i tält så får man tälta precis vart man vill.
Status på dagen?
Veldig bra.
Det var bra?
Bra opplegg. Kommer opp.
Kult. Den ølen var ikke ekkel, eller?
Hæ?
Den ølen var ikke ekkel.
Den var veldig god. Det er svensker som ikke lager brød, men de kan lage øl.
Ja, det er bæsj.
Med gull.
Det er bæsj. When it comes to Loki, my bike, he had a pretty rough time today. He ended up with a broken indicator, some nasty scratches, and side bag carriers bent inwards on both sides. The bikes weren't the only one needing a cleaning this afternoon. Would you believe me if I told you that I was still pretty much dry on the inside of my suit? Pretty impressive. During the evening, we were treated to a delicious home-cooked dinner with wild boar, and we heard a very inspiring presentation from Kalle Bjerkert, who's been competing internationally on elite level in both enduro, rally and whatnot for years.
Så därav blev det att jag började åka motorcykel.
day 2. Let's go! Starting today with some group photography, group filming, leaving Sixtorp. Alright guys, so it's about 9:30, actually it's precisely 9:31 in the morning. First thing we're doing now is heading to fill our tanks. Actually Husqvarna is filling our tanks for us. It's included in the entry fee, which is about for these 2 days with the food and everything. It's about 130 euros, 120, 130 euros, which is like, I don't understand how that even cover the costs of us being here, but yeah, that's pretty freaking cool and affordable. Anyway, plan for today is a lot shorter than yesterday. Yesterday we were riding from like 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the evening. Today the day ends at I believe 2 or 2:30. So it's a lot shorter day, and I think it's less technical from what I heard. It's more just pure gravel and yeah, stuff like that. So today's pretty chill, which I don't think a lot of people mind, because a lot of people were just like me are pretty beaten up from yesterday, pretty sore body. But yeah, we all had a fantastic day yesterday, ended it with a great dinner. Such a great group to be riding with. So yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to today as well. When the day finishes at about 2:30, I am heading back to Oslo, which is about 350 kilometers more to ride. So today is going to be a long day, but that's just how it is. At least we have the sun is out greeting us today, so that's pretty nice. Whoop! Slippery slide. Look ahead and give gas. Look ahead, give gas, give gas, give gas. Give gas. Give gas. Over this side. Oh, 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 oh. Give gas, give gas, give gas. Gas, 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 gas. Okay, I actually have quite a bit of grip underneath here. Whew. Into the forest we go. Oh, there's mud. Gas, 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 gas. Oh, ah! Okay, which side do I choose? Holy hell. Ow. Ah! Woo! Okay. Sit down. Oh, standing. Weight behind. Weight back, weight back, weight back. Look ahead. Ooh. Stay loose. Stay loose. Stay loose. Okay.
The tracks we're riding here is actually an old railway passage, where obviously the rails have been removed, leaving a perfect straight track through the forest. Well, perfect if you don't mind the mud, water, rocks, and being slapped in the face by the occasional branch. Great fun.
I'm stuck. Better just sit so I get underneath all these. Whoa. Okay, now we're good. Freedom!
Even though the tracks were not as technical as yesterday, they still offered a perfect amount of various challenges. Riding in and out of the forest, switching between gravel roads of different standards, single tracks and forest roads was a perfect combination. And then we also had great weather as a cherry on top. What more could you possibly want in a day? After one last rest stop, it was time to get back on the road for the last couple hours this weekend. Being surrounded by so many people who enjoy motorcycling as much as you do, with so much positivity and excitement despite the challenges, made for a fantastic atmosphere across all the groups. I'm sure I was not the only one there wishing we had just one more day or 2 or 3 to enjoy all of this.
They've just put like fresh soil on top of the gravel here. Oh, it is interesting. Pushing the brake and nothing happens because it just keeps sliding. That is... Whoop! Look at this shit. Det var jättekul! Splash, splash! 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 And... Splash! Holy. A little washing there. Much needed. Holy hell. Okay. Wow. That was steep. Whee! Sound effects, but off she goes. What? Looks so easy. Det ser så lätt ut när du gör det. Tack.
Det är lite jättesandbackar.
Ja, okej. Sand! Ah! Ah! Just give gas and it'll be alright. And just like that, we are back at the headquarters and the driving is over. Oh, this day went by so fast. And holy smokes, it was fun. I think now it's time for lunch. And then it's goodbyes, I guess.
And just like that, the Northern Tour 2023 was over and done. After devouring a delicious burger and saying our goodbyes, it was time for everyone to start making their way home.
Man tycker han spinner jävligt bra.
Ja, det är ganska flexibelt. Du får inte smula. Nej, han har ju hela tiden.
Likeså, vi snakkes plutselig. Snakkes! And just like that, it's over. We are a group that will be riding together to Oslo, or towards Oslo at least. So that's nice. I'm now at 1,446.9 kilometers for the last 4 days. Now I have like 800 kilometers more to go home. Alright. Audiobook on, cruise control on, and just chill.
A few hundred kilometers later, I had split up with my riding companions towards Oslo and made it back to my sister's house for the night. The next day, I covered the remaining distance of about 450 kilometers from Oslo to Stavanger, and wow. Riding boring highway roads for hours and hours when being exhausted after a weekend like that was a challenge in itself. With a coffee stop pretty much every hour and a nap at the gas station, I eventually made it home. Hello guys, it's already a few days later, as you can probably see by the weather and the time of day. It is right now Friday and I arrived back home on Monday. I'm telling you, doing those 800 kilometers going home after that weekend was painful. Oh, I was so exhausted after a fantastic weekend. Right now I actually picked up my motorcycle from Ambe Racing, which is the local Husqvarna dealership and workshop, and also the one who provided me with this bike through Husqvarna, because there was a few things that had to be fixed after the riding that weekend. My right indicator broke off. It's now back in place and working. I have quite a few scratches on this side after that fall a little bit higher speed on the gravel. Go all the way down here, and then there's also some scratches on the bash plate or skid plate or whatever you want to call it. Other than that, this one was bent inward quite a bit and resting on the exhaust. And also this one, as you can see, is still a little bit awkward angle. It's kind of bending inwards like this a little bit after falling on each side. Other than that, not a whole lot. I'm really grateful that I had these double take mirrors installed before this trip. It was a surprise actually by Backcountry Emse on a previous motorcycle gathering that I was on. He was like, "Hey, I got something for you." I'm like, "What?" "You need these." And boy, did I need those. If I didn't have these double take mirrors that kind of, they fold in, like they won't break, they just fold in instead. And if I didn't have those, my mirrors would have broken on both sides. There's that. I've seen a lot of people ride with them, and now I totally understand why. Other than that, my quick shift is fixed again, so I can use that one. And also I have a new Dunlop tire. Front tire. This one is brand new. The other one I did over 10,000 kilometers on actually, and there was still quite a bit left on it. So really impressed with how with the longevity on those. But that's for a different video. How do I conclude a weekend like that? It was so much fun. It was so much fun from beginning to end. Great group of people. Everyone who participated. The guides, the Husqvarna people, they did a fantastic job. They were just with so great hospitality and their attitude towards everyone and everything. And yeah, it was just great from beginning to end. It really was. I think everyone got to push their comfort zone quite a bit. I think the pace that we were riding was higher than a lot of people expected, without being forced to ride too fast. They did have one guy in the front and one guy in the back, making sure everyone was coming along. You could feel free to ride at whatever pace you wanted, and you would always catch up with the group. There was no complaining in any of the groups about someone riding too fast or too slow, or not what I heard at least. But yeah, it was just great fun in general. My group, which was the skilled pro, I think they had expert, skilled pro and skill. I think they just didn't want to call anyone like rookies or beginner class or something like that. I would be fine with that, but I think most would. But anyway, I was in the skilled pro, the medium class. I actually wanted to be in the lower class, but after doing that tour or the trip with the guides on Friday before the event started, going through the routes, they were kind of, no, you're going to do the medium pro, so no, skilled pro, sorry. So that's nice, yeah, I felt at home in that group as well. It would fit with my pace quite nicely. Anyway, my group kind of divided into two. There were 8 people, and then there were 4 who kind of wanted a little bit of higher pace and 4 who wanted a little bit of lower pace. So it kind of split a little bit into 2. Without being a problem or issue for anyone at all, we always kind of gather up at each place anyway. Never more than, you know, just a couple hundred meters in between us. So yeah, super nice. I don't know what else there is to say. The price of this whole weekend for like, I didn't pay to participate. This was a deal, the part of being the ambassador for Husqvarna. I didn't have to pay to participate. But I think the price was about 1,250 kroners, about 130 euros, something-ish. If that's not right, then I will put the correct price here in the video. Which is, in most of the participants' opinion, that was pretty freaking cheap, considering how much you got for the money. I mean, they even filled our tanks. They even filled our tanks with gasoline on Sunday. And all meals every day, and yeah, it was really great. I really hope that they do this every year. Yeah, surprised that there was very few Norden expeditions. There was actually more of the standard version Norden. Yeah, we really got to push ourselves. We got to push the bikes. Fantastic routes, fantastic roads. Even though we had shitty weather on Saturday, it didn't seem to bother anyone. We were warm and sweaty and enjoyed ourselves anyway. So yeah, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions about the event or the bike or whatever, make sure to put them in the description. I'll try to answer as many as possible. And yeah, that's it for today. That's it for that weekend. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in a while. Bye!